Hi, my name is Tim, and I would like to make sure that you get a very high score on the IELTS test, specifically the reading part of the IELTS test, the reading section. What I will do is I'll give you some tips and hints and my best strategies for dealing with the reading section of the IELTS test. The first thing, and this is very important, first thing you should keep in mind is that you will be given some statements. You have three reading passages to read, and you'll be given some statements after that that ask you to decide if those statements are true, false, or not given from the reading passage. Keep in mind that the definition of true and false is not what we normally consider true or false. Normally, true means factually correct. Normally, false means not true. In this case, you may have a strong opinion about something. You may have a strong opinion that something is true or false. That doesn't count on the reading passage of the IELTS test. In this case, remember that true means that it's clearly stated in the reading passage. The reading passage will state it. It may state it in different words than you see in the question, but it states it in the reading passage. Uh, if it's false, that means that in the reading passage, it will state something that's contrary to that statement, maybe the opposite of it, but something contrary is stated in the reading passage. If the question states something contrary to the reading passage, check that as false, even if you have an opinion and you think maybe it's true. Also, it's not given if it's not stated in the reading passage. It may be implied, it may be suggested in the reading passage, but if it's not in the reading passage, it's not given. So remember those definitions of true or false for the purposes of the reading section of the IELTS test. Also, you should be alert for some tricks the test makers put into the IELTS section, the reading section of the IELTS test. One of the tricks they use is in the statements they have there. They will switch key words. For example, in the reading passage, it may say men are more likely to do something. In the question, it will say it might change to male or female. Then it might switch to female and say the same thing. However, they've switched from men to female, so you know it's false. They may also switch the words maximum to minimum or increase to decrease. If you're not paying attention to every word, you may miss that. And keep in mind when you're taking the reading, when you're reading the reading passage, that the questions are asking for your understanding of the reading passage. They're not really checking your vocabulary. It's important to understand the vocabulary. You can't really understand the reading passage unless you understand the vocabulary. However, they're testing your understanding of the reading passage. So in the questions, they may switch keywords to synonyms that mean the same thing, or they may switch ideas to ideas that mean the same thing. So be alert for that. Another thing that's important to do before when you're taking the reading section is look at the questions. Look at the questions you have to answer before you read the reading passage. This is important because if you read the reading passage first without knowing what the questions are, you may be wasting time because you'll have to read the questions later. Then you may have to go back and reread the reading passage. It may take more time to do that. You want to know what to look for when you read the reading passage. And an important skill when you do this, when you're reading the passage, is skimming. Skimming is looking over the paragraphs in the reading passage quickly, looking for key ideas, trying to figure out what the passage means, what the person who wrote that is trying to convey to you. So first you need to know that the key points in the reading passage will be in the first part of the paragraph or the end of the paragraph. The first sentence in the paragraph is called the topic sentence. So it should contain the key idea that's in that paragraph. It should be introducing you to what's to come in the paragraph. The conclusion will be a statement of what point the person writing the paragraph wanted you to know. So the key ideas to look for in the first part of the paragraph and the end of the paragraph. So quickly skim it to see if the idea you're looking for is right there. Another important skill is called scanning. Scanning, again, is looking quickly through the paragraph. Uh, in the case of scanning, you're looking for keywords. What you should do is look at the questions you need to answer beforehand. When you see the reading passage, skim quickly to know what the paragraph is about. Scan the middle of the paragraph to look for those keywords. When you see the keywords in the paragraph, when you know what you're looking for, pay particular attention to that sentence and read it more clearly, because that's probably the key idea that you're looking for. Remember that the person making up the test questions, they have to do this. They have to make up test questions that they will later have to defend to their colleagues. They can't just make up test questions arbitrarily. They have to make up test questions that are answered in the text, in the reading passages. So when you're reading, look for specific statements in the reading passages that will answer the questions. So that's what you're looking for. And another important skill, possibly one of the most important skills when you're doing the reading section, is to make logical decisions quickly. Don't try to have too open a mind. After you read the question, know what the question is asking for. Look through the reading passage to look for the specific statement in the reading passage about it. Then make a quick logical decision about exactly what it says. Is the statement true or false according to the reading passage? Do not waste time debating whether the statement could be true, if there's a way to see it as being false, or if somebody could look at it as true or false. Don't try to have too much of an open mind. I've seen some people make wrong answers on the test because they have an open mind and they can see different ways of looking at the reading passage that could make a statement true or false either way. So my next video, I will go through reading passages from the IELTS test, and I will show you how my mind works, how I go through each step, and I'll show you how these strategies can get you the correct answers on the IELTS test so you'll score high. See you in the next video.